Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise and honor and glory to where it's due to Yahweh by Hashem Yahshua, by Hashem HaKadosh, giving all glory and honor to the Almighty Yahweh. Double honors to the elder prophet, great millstone, who will tell us truth. Shalom to the certain brother out there who preaching the truth and edifying the brothers and sisters, where I certainly deals it through the internet and through going out in the highways and byways. And shalom to the Israelite foreigners out there who came in from this dark to light through the Most High Yahweh and are being built up and gaining more knowledge. And shalom to the few Agua who believe on the truth and who may be watching. Today is your brother Ayawab come back at you today with another lesson entitled We as Israelites, what is our purpose? Or we as Israelites, what are we supposed to do? One of those two. I'm gonna have to decide. We as Israelites, what are we supposed to be doing right now? Is it going out, getting the fanciest clothes, going out, partying all the time, going out, not drinking all the time, going out to the bars, trying to find a girl you're gonna hook up with, going out and smoking with your buddies. Are we supposed to be doing that as God's chosen people? Are we supposed to be doing that all the time? Are we supposed to go out and eat pork? Are we supposed to go out and get fresh lineups? Line your beard, get no beard. Are we supposed to be doing that as God's chosen people? No, we're not. We are peculiar people, and I'm gonna get that real quick. We're special people to the Most High. This is Deuteronomy 7 verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God, and the Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all nations that are upon the face of the earth. So we're supposed to be above all nations that are upon the earth. Do you see Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, as a whole above all nations? Do you see Israelites as a whole living in the fanciest houses? Got the freshest clothes, got the best jobs? No. The so-called white man has that. Why? Because the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Who is the wicked? Esau, so-called white man. Deuteronomy 14 and verse 2. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God, and the Lord hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all nations that are upon earth. We're not above all nations. And why? Because we disobeyed his commandments that he gave us. Now, if we would follow his commandments, as it said in Deuteronomy 28 and verse 1, which I'll get right here. Deuteronomy 28 verse 1, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations, and all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. And right there it gives us a blessing that we shall receive if we hearken diligently, which we did not do. And then if we didn't, we shall be cursed, as in 28 verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And that's what happened. We didn't listen. We cursed. We were in the land of our captivity. But us as Israelites in the land of our captivity, what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to just slide? It's like, what are we supposed to do? We just gonna let the so-called white man just be over top of us for the rest of our lives? Oh, well, I'm content with this lifestyle. I got me a nice house. I got me a decent job. Y'all insane. Y'all do the same thing over and over and over again. And you expect different results, but you're not going to get different results until you come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. This is Deuteronomy 10 verse 12. And now Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee? Let's look up that word require. It'll work. It's like definition of required. Need for a particular purpose. To claim or ask for by right and authority. Request. To have need of. What does he need you to do? What is he to make something necessary? What is necessary for you to do? To need or demand. What does he demand you to do? There we go. What does he demand you to do? What does he require you to do? Deuteronomy 10 verse 12. And now Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee, but to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes which I command thee this day for thy good. So it's for our good that we keep his commandments. It's good that we love him, to serve him, to fear him with all thy heart, with all thy soul. Y'all just content with this lifestyle. Now how do you love the Lord? You say, oh yeah, I love him. I love the Lord. I love God. But how do you show your love to him, to the Almighty, to the Ancient of Days, to the great King? How do you show your love for him? John 14 and verse 15. If ye love me, there it is right here. If ye love me, John 14 verse 15, if ye love me, keep my commandments. That's how you show your love to the Lord. You keep his commandments. And if you're not following his commandments, you don't love him. You don't love him. There's a precept for that. 1 John 1 John 3 verse 4. No, it's like it. 1 John 5, 3, 4. Okay, we can bring this out though. So I'm bringing it out after that. 1 John 5, 3 through 4. It's like it. For this is the love of God. This is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. And his commandments are not grievous. Let's look up that word grievous. Definition of grievous, very severe or serious, terrible, awful, agonizing, hurtful, afflicting, damaging. It's not going to damage you to, it's not going to hurt you to follow his commandments. His commandments are not, they're not shameful. They're not shameful. Causing or characterized by severe pain, suffering, or sorrow, a grievous wound, a grievous loss, causing grief or great sorrow. It's not going to cause you grief. It's not going to cause you sorrow to follow these commandments. His commandments are not grievous. For what? 1 John 5, verse 4. For whatsoever is born of God overcometh the world, and this is the victory that overcometh the world, even our faith. So if you have faith, you're going to follow his commandments. 1 John 3, 4. Whosoever committed sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. So you sin, you transgress the law. So what does he requires you to follow your commandments? What are we supposed to do? As Israelites, as God's chosen people, we're supposed to keep his commandments. To have faith. You just can't just do what you want on this world. You can't just go around saying, "Oh, I love God. I know God. He knows my heart." The heart is deceitful above all things. I know him. Let's see about that one. Do you really know God? Do you really? 1 John 2 verse 3. 1 John 2 verse 3. 1 John over here killing it today. And hereby we do know. 1 John 2 verse 3. And hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments. If you keep his commandments, you know him. You don't know the Lord. You do not know Yahweh, the power, if you don't keep his commandments. He that, verse 4, 1 John 2 verse 4, he that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him. You don't know him. You're a liar. That's what John said. If you do not know him, if you do not keep his commandments, you do not know him. You are a liar. You watching this video, you're a liar. You don't know him. You don't keep his commandments, just like it just said. You don't know him. You're a liar. Verse 5, but whoso keepeth his word, in him verily is the love of God perfected. Hereby we know. Hereby know hereby know we that we are in him. We are in him because we keep his commandments. That's what it says. You're a liar. You don't know God. You don't know the power. You don't know the Lord. Revelation 22 and verse 14. Revelation 22:14. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates into the city. Blessed are they that do his commandments. That's how he sups with you. That's how you keep his commandments, and he sups with you. And he starts to give you more knowledge, more wisdom. He starts to reveal more secrets unto you through the Holy Spirit. See if I can find out. Revelation 3 verse 20, behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him, and he with me. You got to keep his commandments and he'll sup with you. And he'll start to reveal more secrets, more prophecies, more understanding, more wisdom. You can't just walk down the street say, you hear you an Israelite. Okay, I'm an Israelite. And you continue to do your same folly. You continue to eat pork. You continue to shave your beard. You continue to get lineups. You continue to mingle with the so-called white man. And mingle, I mean like you go out, you drink with them, you having fun. They not your brothers. They not your friends. They put your ancestors in slavery. Your forefathers, your foremothers. They raped your foremothers, your forefathers. They not your friends. You just want to go, you want to have fun. YOLO, you only live once, right? Right. So you just want to make the most of it, to live your life, to have a good life, to have a family, to have kids. There ain't nothing wrong with that, but you got to put this word first. You got to put this truth first. You worry about the other stuff later. Isaiah 34 and verse 16. Isaiah 34 and 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall one her make. For my mouth it hath commanded it, and his spirit it hath gathered them. Seek out of the book and read. Read. No one of these shall fail. If you start reading and you see, it's like I was reading something just now. But if you read and you read some of the stuff that we preach to you, or that the elders and apostles go out on the highways and byways and prophesy to you, if you just actually just look at it and be like, that makes sense. Revelation 1 verse 3. It's like, before I get that, so you read, okay, for example, you seek out the book and read. So you hear so-called, they say so you go out to the highways, or you're walking down the street and you hear somebody say, so in your mind, you thinking Jesus is a white man. That's what they told you. That's what they painted him out to be. You see so-called white man. They say Jesus so-called white man. And you walk down the street and they say, well, Jesus is black. He's black? I ain't heard them say. So they say, all right, so they're going to bring out Revelation 1 verse 13 or 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. So you take a penny,